Hey, it's me, Jimmy D, and welcome to this week's episode review for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I have to say, this was a drastic improvement to the show. Um, this episode I thoroughly enjoyed. Everything about it was entertaining. There are a few things that I do have not really issues with, but more of a criticisms, which, of course, are going to be constructive. There's no hate on this show, but there are some things that I think would help improve these Marvel TV shows. So, this being a whole different genre, I think it was not this. I think we needed the second episode to really let it sink in. With the first episode, we just got whiplash from WandaVision, so the drastic change of genre really did kind of take a step back. Like, after the second viewing of the first episode, it was a lot better than what I previously thought. And then with this episode, I really did enjoy it. Of course, this episode was more of what I thought the first episode was going to be, with the introduction to the new Captain America, John Walker, and then you got Bucky and Sam interacting with one another, which to me makes this show. Their interactions are by far the best part. The writing, the jokes, their chemistry, everything about it is fantastic, and I love that. We do touch upon some real world issues with racial and just governmental type problems, and I do like that. I like that Marvel's taken that step into that area, because Marvel and Disney tends to be the neutral ground. They don't like to really interact with too many social issues. So it's nice to see them actually taking a part for this show. Bucky, hands down, one of my favorite characters. And his interactions with Sam in this episode, from jumping out of the plane to the whole mission to fighting, hanging off the truck, to being in the jail and going through the therapy session. Everything about this episode with Bucky was fantastic, and the fact that there's other super soldiers. There was a black super soldier in decades ago that Bucky knew, but didn't tell Steve, and I think that adds an interesting layer to Bucky's character, and that really adds to the story. Like, I'm interested. I want to know what more about it with Isaiah and everything. Like, it was just really interesting, and I loved it. Now, the thing I do find that is a little bit of a criticism is the fact I'm really not sure if this show is actually a show. It honestly feels like it's just a movie that somebody hits pause on for a week. It doesn't really have a episode arc. I think with WandaVision it was easier to do because each of the episodes was based off of a sitcom, so it had that sitcom feel. Later on in WandaVision, though, some episodes did feel like they just kind of ended. And the finale, of course, wasn't the best received. And personally, I didn't really like the finale that much. I felt like it did have a lot of issues in terms of just being a show. Even as a movie, it felt like it just kind of ended and didn't really solve anything. And that's sort of the feeling I'm getting with this one. Of course, I'm going to have to see how it plays out, but it feels like they're just ending it at a point, and the episode actually doesn't end. It's just they're pausing a movie. Like, they made one big movie with Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then they're chunking it, which, again, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, but if I'm looking at it as a show, then there raise some concerns. Clearly, we're not supposed to like the new Captain America. They have set that up. But, beginning of the episode, I do have to say I was a little cautious, because it seemed like they were trying to introduce him for us to like him, to feel for him and everything. But I didn't really get that vibe. It reminds me of The Last of Us Part 2, where Abby kills Joel, and then you're supposed to feel sorry for her and play as her. It's sort of that feeling. Like, he's replacing Steve Rogers as Captain America, but we're supposed to feel for him and everything, and that's just not how it should be done. That's not how you really build and add that connection with the audience. So that is another little criticism I have. But I know that he's not supposed to be liked. Like, he's going to be bad. But the way they introduced it definitely did worry me some. I want to know what you thought of the episode down in the comments below. Come check out our Discord. Link to that is in the description. And we would love to have you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next one. I give this episode, about a 8.5 to a 9. It felt really interesting and good. So, see you guys in the next one. Later.